What I'm going to try to do this morning, September 18th, 2020, is in as few words as possible explain why the situation with John MacArthur and Donald Trump relates to the brain tumor of 2015. Believe it or not, there is a correlation. Go out and do a whole lot of recording on this. I just want to make this as brief as possible. But the situation began when I was traveling back and forth between Sun Valley and Minden Gardnerville to go play music for a church down there, whose name has changed. Their pastor's name was Larry Webb, and he was like an interim pastor because they were trying to find, a replacement of him, basically, and it was him that replaced him. So he had gone to Grace Community Church, and he knew John MacArthur. He gave me a study Bible, I think to say thanks, for the music I was doing down there. A study Bible from John MacArthur. I began to study it. I was shocked when I found out that he believed that the gifts of the Holy Spirit had ceased. A very long story short, I kind of laughed it off. I brushed it off. Well, I used to listen to KNIS, Pilgrim Radio, I don't know what they're called now, on my drive down there, and I heard the passionate, vehement voice of a man from another country who was teaching something, and I went, who is he? Where is he? Turns out it was a Kosh Santz thing at Community Bible Church in Reno, Nevada. Well, I eventually started going there full time, and it took me 2 years to find out that they were, let's say, disciples of John MacArthur in their Reformed theology. The interesting thing is that I could not get direct questions answered. I got vague and obscure responses to very specific questions I had, and it took me 2 years to realize they were never born again. They didn't really believe the Bible that they claimed to because of their, business title, which, by the way, they just bought. And so I had issues. I'm going to add a little funny sideline here. I was just listening to that last vocals, and it sounded like I said porn again when I meant to say born again. And I haven't delved into the fact that the boys at Community Bible Church, they liked pornography. Yeah, there's a song coming out for one of their song leaders, one of their worship leaders, but I'll delve into that in more detail later. Finally happening after me spending a lot of time, energy, money, affection, would that be infection or affection, on those men, taking them to the El Dorado for lunches on many occasions, was I had a private meeting with a Kosh Santz Singh and Keller Hackbush in their office, which was shared with Dinter Engineering, 385 Gentry Way in Reno. I left that office in tears because they'd never had any experiences. They never heard the voice of the Lord. They didn't believe in it. Basically what they had done was redacted the Bible, saying it was okay to do that because it had been completed, and so all the gifts and everything else had been done away with. Is that circular reasoning or what? So I stepped outside of their little building and looked up and said, okay, Lord, what do you have to say about this matter? And I was in tears. Not a whole lot of tears, just a little bit of tears of disappointment when I asked that. Well, guess what happened next? Just to clarify, I don't remember the exact year that this took place, but in 2014 I heard the voice of the Lord telling me something devastating was going to happen in 2015. In 2015, that's when the brain tumor hit, and this is what this whole series has been, the sequence of events, step by step, day by day, what happened. Well, it wasn't until October 29th, 2015, that the MRI that my friend Dave Thimgen insisted I get, and he was the other musician that was traveling back and forth with me from Sun Valley. He lived in another area of Sun Valley to Minden Gardnerville to play music. We had been on our knees praying about the tumor that had been diagnosed in August of 2015, asking the Lord, not demanding, asking him what he would have us do. Dave's hand shot out, touched me on the shoulder. Seconds later, he said, go get an MRI. He did not tell me at that time, that I remember, that he had had a vision that tumor had simply disappeared. Well, guess what? It turned out to be true. It disappeared. So I took the appropriate steps. I contacted John MacArthur to ask him now what did he have to say about the gifts of the Holy Spirit ceasing or, being somehow changed. Well, guess what? According to his assistant, he was too busy studying his Bible to talk to me. And Akash Sant Singh and his group, they didn't want to hear it. So the bottom line is that John MacArthur, he's in charge of a cult, Donald Trump. He's a cult leader. He's not a church guy. He's not born again. He doesn't follow the, mandates of the Bible, which say these certain things will happen when you are born again. And they're pretty miraculous, let me tell you. They're supernatural in nature. By the way, CBC is all natural. According to them, it's all the flesh. They're Pharisees. They teach legalism. They don't listen to people who actually have been born again. So guess what? Their judgment is going to be pretty strict and pretty severe. The interesting thing about God is he does not drop unexpected bombshells, right? Bombs. He warns people. This is coming. They have been issued a warning. John MacArthur has been issued a warning. Donald Trump has been issued a warning. Akash Sant Singh, Keller Hackbush, Todd Musser. All these men have been issued warnings. The bottom line of this is, who are you going to trust? Are you going to trust what I'll say is, which prophet is false? The man who makes millions or the one that was tossed out of a church by mice? Try to guess which one I would pick.
Lord's Day to live stream.
You have grieved the Holy Spirit of God. Your doctrine of cessation is an error. He has been grieved, John MacArthur. I've been sending you to tell you that. You're sharpening the sword and they're cutting each other. You don't believe in prophets. You're looking at one. God have mercy on you and teach you the truth. Your doctrine of cessation is an error, John MacArthur. It's an error. I have been sent to tell you.
And they laugh.
You don't